Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your TV program, Tell Me About. Together, we will discover young talents and gifted people who succeeded or who are still working in different fields, such as art, science, literature, innovation, and more. Young people are known to be not enough prudent. That's why they attempt the impossible and they achieve it. This dreamer never let anyone tell you that dreams are a waste of time. The truth is, for every dream, there is a path leading to reality. Trust your dreams, they know their way to success. As would Eleanor Roosevelt say, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Dear viewers, today we're having with us two beautiful minds, two young talents who work to make content literacy accessible to everyone around Algeria. Please welcome Mr. Abdelghani Karoui.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation, Yasin.
And Ayoub Messaadi.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Channel 7.
Thank you, Yasin.
The Knowledge Channel.
Of course.
How are you guys?
I'm great. We're great. What about you?
How are you?
Fine.
Fine, yes.
Great.
So guys, how was your school career? Let's start with the youngest one.
Yes.
Come on, Ayoub.
Thank you, Yasin, and I'm glad to be the youngest one here. And,
It's a good thing.
thank you. So about the studying career, I am a third-year student in the food technology and the quality control stream of biology in
that's
the
great.
University of Saad Dahlab in Blida.
Good. That's very interesting.
And why did you choose this field of study?
As a prequel decision of mine, it came of passion because my mother was a biologist and I always loved that. So let's do it.
It's a good one.
Yes. And you, Abdelghani. Can I call you
Yes.
Rano?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Of course.
shorter.
Yes, it's better. Well, I studied business administration. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration. And then I did master's degree in human resources. I see. To answer your question that you have in mind about how did you study like business and then you work in English. Well, it's also...
You stop guessing my questions.
Of course.
Come on, okay.
Yeah. So, I'll start again.
Yes.
Business. Okay. So I have bachelor's degree in business administration, and then I prepared master's degree in human resources.
That's great.
Good.
And now you are
A teacher of English.
a teacher of English.
Yes.
How did you find yourself teaching English?
Well, it's been a passion, I'd say. I've been learning English all by myself since so many years ago, and then I had the opportunity to teach some young people. You see, like baccalaureate students.
Yes.
So I went for it, and I found that I was doing a good job at it. You see, and me studying business, I thought maybe I can do well in business for English. You see?
Vision.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I started doing that, and it helps me a lot because, like, you have a business perspective. So you are the way you teach, it's very accurate. You see, so it was a good thing for me. It helped me a lot.
So you found yourself a business graduated person
Yes.
working in teaching.
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
great.
That's it.
All right. Oh, you're doing a lot, huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
Who knows? English is a good profession, I can tell that.
Exactly.
Yes. Ayoub, you're more than just a person who does things. That's great. Can you please tell us more about your activities? You're a social activist. You're known for being a social activist. What are your activities? Can you give us examples?
Of course. I would like to present myself as a social activist because social activist, what does it mean? We do social activities, things that are not in our academic, like voluntary activities that are not in our academic studies. And
you don't just follow your academic studies.
Yes, I would like to
Interesting, yeah.
discover myself in other things, just like I'm involved in scientific clubs in the in my university, and also other clubs out of my university, trying to open doors. And you know, when you do voluntary activities, you have that field or that ground of trial. So when you fail, you can learn, and yet you can discover yourself soft skills and even hard skills.
Yes.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
You fall 9 times, you stand up 10 times.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Rano,
Yep.
tell me, how do you choose your students, for example?
Well, I taught so many students, like young people, professionals, and even university students. You see?
Yeah. It's not the same way of teaching.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
depends.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
please-
approach is never
Please
the same.
tell us everything about your approach.
Well, no problem at all. The goal is to make the learner know that he is able to make mistakes. There is something that I always say: if you don't make mistakes, you will never learn. It works like this. So I always try to change that perspective, because when they come, Yasin, they think that I need to be perfect. If I make a mistake, I'm going to sound not smart, you see. But the first thing that I try to do to them is to make them think that they are allowed to make mistakes. This is not your first language. You were born speaking Darja and Arabic, so it's totally fine to make mistakes. You see, once I get them to think that way, I try to make them like a small family, since they can interact with each other and to be very, let's say, natural around each other.
And to experiment their skills.
Exactly, that's it. Like I tell them, you just need to go ahead and try it. You know, there's something that I always tell them, Yasin.
What
I
do
say
you
like,
tell them?
yeah, exactly, yes. Like I tell them, try to imagine an American person enters our classroom and he speaks in Arabic. What are we going to say? We'll be like, he is speaking Arabic. He's doing so many efforts. This is very interesting. Even though he doesn't speak in a perfect accent, but he is doing the effort.
Yes.
I tell them it's the same thing for you. You're allowed to make mistakes. Just go for it and try.
Don't be afraid to make a
Exactly.
mistake.
That's it.
Because that's how you learn.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So what you mean that it's not about perfection from the very beginning. It's about the attempt and trying to, because
Exactly.
that's
You can
what,
never be perfect.
Yeah, that what really matters.
Exactly, that's
Yes,
exactly it.
interesting. Thank you.
Yes. You're both very passionate persons.
Thank you.
and you both developed your communication skills. How did you develop them to acquire
Yes?
those beautiful skills, Ayub?
Well, I would like to start saying that trying over and over and over. In the very beginning, just like any young person, I don't know what I like yet, so it's just my hobbies, just a small comfort zone. But when you start trying and doing more, stepping from here to here to here, you will have that access to know who you are and what you want. So once you understand what you want with those activities, you will acquire the skills of yours. Like for mine, I would like to say that I learned how to speak, or if we are going to speak about English first, I learned English trying new things. First, I used to play video games, and then when I first thought that, hey, English is my thing, I proceeded in that act, and I started reading books until I kind of mastered that skill. Other things, just like speaking, whether it's in English or Arabic, trying again and again and again. That's what gives you the access to that skill or thing.
Agree.
You're passionate of languages.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You can see
And
that.
you have Rani.
Well, when it comes to speaking or communication, Yasin,
Communication.
I guess having experience in customer service helped me a lot. Like I started working at a young age, and I learned how to speak to customers, how to be effective when you communicate and stuff. And after that, when I started working also as a teacher, it was my job to make the students understand in an easy way. You see, like try to connect to them.
Make things easy for them.
Exactly, like to think from their perspective, like to put myself in their shoes. This is why I try to be as effective as I can. When I speak, this is my goal, to be effective. And they tell them the same thing, just be direct.
Yes, let me add that.
That's very accurate.
Exactly,
Yes.
yes.
Let me add that working in a young age, and just what Ranu said, that customer service and being able to find yourself within group of interactions with different genres and qualities,
Yes.
it will make you be able to be flexible with all of them. Like
Exactly, yeah.
it's really helpful, like to develop that communication
Yeah,
spirit.
it's very
of yours.
helpful. Yes. Yes, that's great.
I agree.
Ayub,
Yes.
you're a member of many scientific clubs in your
Oh, yeah.
university,
Yeah.
other universities. So
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
All over the place, he's everywhere.
yeah.
Yes, I'm everywhere. So
you're a science lover.
I'm a science lover, yes, because I study in the scientific stream. So
Yeah.
I do not love science.
Come on, science boy, tell us everything.
Okay. First of all, my journey began in my first official club in my university, which is the Natural Sciences Club, known as the NSC. When I joined there, I remember I knew nothing. All I had that knowing English and other things, but not officially. You see, that club introduced me to the meaning of social activities, and all of those, like going through that process, meeting people, as we say, دخلت في حيط, and mastering my design skills and all of that was the first door for me to understand what is being an activist. First thing I used to do was being a designer, like the introvert thing, you see, but it helped me. That thing was the key to introduce me to other people. Like the first key of communication was not verbal, but it was non-verbal. After that, I gained like the organization spirit, working with
Teamwork
a lot of people. Yes, teamwork.
Yes.
Even though I was not a fan of teamwork, I used to do everything alone.
You started appreciating it.
Yes,
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
like I was the leader of myself, but
Yes.
I understood that leadership is not being yourself only, and yeah,
It's a teamwork.
yes,
Exactly, yeah.
teamwork, pressure, especially when you lead a team, like first times when you fail, and then you learn from mistakes.
Yes, you managed the organization of teams and
Yes,
events. Can you please give us examples first of your activities as a member of scientific club?
Okay, let me talk about our latest event. It was skills to entrepreneurship.
Yes, tell us
We're-
more.
Yes, where we organized it in our university in the big auditorium, where we invited entrepreneurs and public figures who are professional at their domain to teach us about marketing, to teach us and to share with us their experiences in their domain, like Hisham Dhaifallah and Leila Nadir.
They were,
Nadir.
they were our guest here.
Yes, they were
They're interesting.
guests here.
They're
Very
interesting
interesting.
people. Yes.
You see, and like our goal was to. We saw a lot of people having ideas, and that's it. So we tried to introduce to them the meaning of entrepreneurship and how to translate that idea from just an idea to an actual act.
To make them real.
Yes, to develop that kind of transaction or transition in their heads. And we are glad that the impact was kind of good, was very good. Like people came to us and they started making their business models and all of that. It was a very good impact.
Ah, that's
It
good.
was large. We had a lot of people coming there and we really appreciate that.
That's great.
Yeah, that's
Very
for our
interesting,
latest event.
Mr. Abdelghani,
Yes.
let's come back to you.
Yep.
So, you're also a content creator.
Yes.
Please tell us more. How did you start creating content on
Yeah.
social media?
Yes. Well, it was at the beginning of the pandemic. We all were home, staying home, have nothing to do, feeling bored. So I thought, like, why not try to share some positive content with people? Like to show them something that is new for them, to make them learn something and stuff. So I started making motivational videos, some book reviews, some success stories, like talk about people like that are successful, how did they get to that point and stuff. And people liked it. You see, yes, like my goal was to make something different. When the viewer watches my videos,
Yeah.
they learn something.
Yeah.
This was my goal.
It's not something too mainstream,
Exactly. Like this is the goal, was to make something
different.
exactly. That's like when people like watch my videos, they learn something positive to add like a value to their lives. And then after that, when I saw that people appreciate that, I thought like, why not? Like also the viewers, they were asking me, they would say like, Han, you have like a good accent and stuff. Why don't you make some videos about how to learn English? I said like, why not? Let's test that. The approach was how to teach Algerians English. You see, like
You have
how
to
make-
adapt your approach to the Algerian society.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because the videos that we watch online, Yasin, they are like not for Algerians. Maybe they're for like some other countries and stuff.
And you also had to take in consideration the pandemic, so you had,
Exactly.
yes,
People like they were staying home and stuff. Need to do something good. This
Yeah.
was the goal. Well, I started making some videos about how to teach them English in a darja way, like to make them put it in their perspective.
give us an example. Go ahead.
Well, so many examples. For example, like the word vice versa.
Yes.
Like no one, they didn't know like vice versa. In Darja, we use that. You see, like we use that word. It means, for example, like you help me, I help you. Like vice versa.
حاج
You see?
موسى موسى الحاج.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You see? So to give them Algerian examples and to make them connect with that content in order to make their learning fun. Because they hate learning, yes. And like who likes to go to school and to learn? Maybe you, but not everyone.
Except,
I'm not sure about that.
except Sheldon Cooper.
Exactly, yes. So it was like, it spread like wildfire. They liked it. Everyone liked it and stuff.
I did.
I felt like, that's good. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I did.
Thank you too. Thank you. Appreciate that. So it was a good thing. And it feels good that people, like when you cross the road, they say, Rano, I learned that thing.
Yes.
I learned that word. That they say it to me like, I learned it. It's a big pleasure.
Yeah. How do you feel when you know that let's say you changed their lives? They learned something.
That's the
Because of
best
you.
thing ever. Like this was the goal, Yassine, like to make an impact. Maybe small, but still an impact. You
Yes.
see. And since English is so mainstream nowadays in Algeria, like
Yes.
everyone is trying to learn it.
Yes.
This is like the best time for that.
It's very positive.
Exactly. And especially when they see someone like who came from the same environment as them, like he is Algerian, like of course our parents were not English speakers,
Yes.
you see. Like the way I learned it, I said like if I can learn it, if I can speak this way, you can do that too.
Yeah.
See?
It's not that easy to learn English in our society.
Exactly, yeah.
We don't have a common history with England,
Exactly,
with
yes.
Britain, with the British culture. So
Yes.
we're
So
trying and we're doing our best.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like the best thing.
Yes, that's the best thing to do.
Exactly. I
To
agree.
stay connected to the rest of the world.
Yes. Especially like young people, they see now. For example, I'm going to use Ayoub as an example. He works as a freelancer, as a designer. So
Yes.
him being in design and knowing English helped him a lot. You see, like English now is not just something that you learn to add.
Yes.
No, it's the key.
Is the key.
It helps you with everything in life. Like this is, I tell them.
If you don't
this
know
is your
English, you will struggle in your daily life nowadays.
Exactly. That's
Everything
it.
is in English.
Exactly. Like in many the fields, like if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a student,
Yes.
if you are like, I don't know, even a writer, even someone who is a freelancer,
A journalist.
you need it. Exactly. For
Journalist, yeah.
example, you see. So we all need it. This is why the goal was to make it approachable. It's not a monster. It's your friend. You can use as your friend. You can
Yes.
learn English and use it in your daily life.
Especially that nowadays the Algerian policy is giving more importance to the English language in
Exactly,
our
yes.
society, in business,
Yes. Yes.
trading, culture.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, guys,
tourism. It's
tourism,
everywhere.
yes.
It's everywhere.
guys, how do you think that we can promote this beautiful language in our country?
I think what Rano is doing is very important because the way he teaches is not that academic. Like people,
Yes.
when I watch his videos or other people watch his videos, they don't feel committed as if they are studying in high school and they have to revise. No, but the way he teaches them is like it's close to therapy. I feel like I'm playing video games.
Thank you.
And personally,
this was
that's
the
how.
goal, yeah.
Yeah, and personally, that's how I learned English from therapy, by learning from what you love.
We learned a lot from video
Yes.
games.
Exactly.
A lot
I
of
guess all of us here, from
English
movies
words,
and
yes,
exactly,
of course.
like music, the
Yes.
things that you love. You see,
Yeah.
like you always learn from the things that we love. This was exactly it, because when they were in school, they didn't get like good grades. You know what do we do like in school? Like we try to not assess them. We try to like make it as their enemy. You see?
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
you need
true,
to be good with the grammar and stuff. That's boring.
That's boring.
I
that's,
tried to
that's
teach them
scary.
grammar. Exactly.
You have to take in consideration that they're just kids.
Exactly, that's
Yes.
it. And if we just change that perspective of them, and now, like you can see us in that every young person in Algeria is trying to learn English.
Yes.
See, they are, like the will is here. It's just about the way. There's a quote that I love: "If there is a will, there's always a way."
Yes.
You see, so this
There's
is the
a-
goal.
When there's a way, there's a way.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very
You see.
beautiful. Yeah. Mhm.
So, Ayoub,
Yes, please.
you're also a designer.
I'm a designer.
Yes. Is there something you don't know how to do it?
Excuse me.
Is there something you don't know?
I don't know how to cook.
You will learn.
Sad.
Yeah,
Sadly.
you'll learn.
Yes.
You'll learn.
Maybe one day. Yes.
Maybe. So, how did your journey in design start?
Okay, so my journey into digitalism in general started back when I was a kid. The same process how I learned English. So I've been exposed to that digital world, you know, media, gaming and all. I don't know how it started officially, but I remember that I went to the action. Like I tried. I was just
How did you learn using the programs?
The programs.
Software.
Trying actually from YouTube, everything from YouTube. Everything I know in my life was learned from the internet.
You can learn everything.
Yes, you can
Exactly,
learn.
especially nowadays.
You can learn anything from the internet for free. That's the
Except
first thing.
surgery.
Except surgery, of course.
Engineering also maybe.
Maybe engineering. Yeah, and I mean the easy things. Come
Of
on.
course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I learned the programs, I learned the steps, all of them from YouTube, and trying. Like you just don't give up, and it's important to do something that you love. So I didn't see it like a task. All I did was trying to press here and there, trying to painting,
Yes.
mixing colors until you learn. You will learn theoretically, and then you will go practical, here and this, and some skill.
That's good.
You know
That's
what I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah.
That's
Very
wonderful.
Yeah, and it also introduced me like understanding the basis of media and designs and all of those all of those bases will help you to interact with the modern world, because the modern world is digitized.
Yes.
The more you get digitized in here, you will connect to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
You'll be up to date.
Yes, you will be up to date. Thank you,
Yes.
Rano. And it will make every step or every interaction easier, like hacks.
Yes. That's really wonderful. Great.
Thank you.
I hope you'll never give up.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
It
Thank you.
doesn't look like someone will give up.
Yes.
He will
Come on, look at
never.
Rano who's
Exactly.
talking.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Abdelghani, you're also
Yes.
a project holder.
Yes. Yeah.
Please tell us more about these or those projects.
Good. Well, the main project now, Yasin, is to do something to make Algerians learn English from their houses. You see, I started doing that. I have like some, let's say, online classes, and people are really interested by that. I have moms, Yasin, they be cooking and learning at the same time.
Wow.
Can you imagine? I have like
That's
students. She'd be with
awesome.
her child. She was like holding him, and then this is Adam, this is my son, and she is learning at the same time. This was like very good. You see, the way as he said, like everything digitalized, our lives is very interesting.
Yes.
So my goal is to use that in order to make learning English very easy. You see, like to make it very approachable, so you can stay at home, and I can teach you English. Just from your own comfort, staying in your bed, not wearing a suit. You see, like so being
Yes.
very casual.
Yeah,
So
okay,
the
you
goal.
don't like my suit. Okay,
No,
thank
it looks
you.
very good. This is why. You see, so the goal, the main goal now is, as I told you, to make learning English very approachable from online. So online teaching. This is the future. Believe me, like they're
Yes.
saying that 80% of teaching is going to be online. You can learn anything online nowadays. You have your teacher, like just like I'm watching you right now, Yasin, but behind the screen, and you are teaching me or I'm teaching you. You see.
And
So this is the goal.
Is it that accurate?
Yes, believe me. And this is like the question that I always get, because we are all used to study in a classroom, like interaction and stuff. But when you start online, it's also the same, believe me. I'll be giving them like groups. I try to make them friends, the learners, because the more they are close to each other, the more they're going to interact with each other. So this is the goal now, is as I told you, like everything teaching online, to make an online school based on Algerian standards, on Algerian thinking, and to make it approachable for everyone in Algeria. Because I have students from Bishar, Yasin. I'm in Dar el Beda, Algiers. I have students from Bishar, from Slayf, from Jaya. This is great. Like when I see the cultural
1,000
interaction.
miles.
Exactly. Like I have a student of mine, she is now in Bishar. And when we study, she'd be so happy, because we even sometimes talk about the cultures, the places she'd be describing where she lives.
You also learn from her.
Exactly.
Yes.
And someone from Tizi Ouzou is going to talk about the mountains of Georgia, and someone else from, you see, this
Yeah,
was like
beautiful,
very interesting. You learn so many things, not just English. So this is why I came to realize that this is the future for us.
Yeah.
And I agree. I personally said previously that I learned everything online.
Yes, for
Perhaps.
example. You are living like example.
Yes. And Ranu as well, he said that he learned everything online. Like when we say movies, it's like online. Like you watch
Exactly,
something
yes.
without being alive with, not in real life.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that having a cool mentor like Ranu
Thank
would
you.
help you doing
Thank
that.
you. Appreciate that.
You're
And
welcome.
while you're creating your
Yes.
content, do you struggle?
Yes, sometimes you do have some
What
struggle.
are these problems?
Yes,
You
yeah.
can tell us.
Yes. Do you know what, Yasim? As I always say, if you're not in a good mood, it will show.
Yeah, the mood is everything.
You see, like sometimes you are tired, you've been through like an hour of traffic or something, so you can't be creative.
Yes.
But by time I learned like how when I entered my room, like I try to make that the place where I concentrate. You see, like if I have an idea, I draft it for when I'm in a good mood. You see, and there is something good about making, let's say, meaningful content. Like the difference between someone who makes meaningful content and someone who makes nonsense is someone who makes meaningful content. When you go to the comments, Yasin, that's like the best motivation.
Yes.
I see people like they like I've
see them
read
happy.
Exactly. Like I read some comments. A woman, she says, "I'm 75 years old. I'm learning English."
Wow.
This was like the
That's
like,
very
it's a
motivating.
Huge, exactly.
Dear viewers, if you're watching us, there's a woman, she's 75 years old,
Exactly. And she's learning.
and she's learning English.
Can you see this? I told you I have moms. Like, to be honest, moms are like superheroes.
Yeah,
like
yes,
be
they
working.
are superheroes.
You see, they are
Come on.
superheroes. Like, I have students, they work during the day, and then they have their children.
Children,
like, they
yeah.
cook and stuff. At the same time, they are learning English. I have a student of mine, Yasin, she's a doctor, and she's a mom. And you see, like this one, she's a superhero. I told you, like
Yes.
believe me, you are a superhero. Maybe you don't know, but let me tell you this: you are a superhero.
A superhero.
So if they can make the time to learn something new like English, you can make the time for that.
Yes.
That's it. So me, as I told you, like making content, the best thing was like the interaction with people. They love it. Like when you do something positive, like my mom be watching my videos, my dad, my friends, you see, they'd be happy. So this is the best motivation to me.
So, guys, your activities help you acquire the necessary skills to empower the Algerian youth. You're also developing social entrepreneurship skills. Please, can you tell us quickly more about that?
Well, basically, the meaning of social entrepreneurship is to own a business, which is entrepreneurship, to generate money from an activity or a service that will actually impact the society.
Exactly.
So our first goal is to impact the society positively, and gaining money is just an option. That's very important, like to impact. That's what differentiates the social entrepreneurship from the classic or the standard entrepreneurship.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
having such experiences, like for me personally as a social activist in a young age, will, as I said previously, it will open a ground for me, like doing voluntary. Everything voluntary requires organization, requires an entrepreneurial mindset, requires time management, requires tons of skills. And those skills, if you don't get exposed to them by now,
Yes.
are you going to get exposed to them by jumping to the actual field
No.
by the
Yes.
first time?
Yeah,
You're gonna
exactly.
fail. And it's like you're gonna fail. And you don't wanna fail in a professional thing. You have the ground now, you can try, you can learn. And that's it for me.
Yes.
Good. Yes, I agree. Because we say like success is a journey, Yasin.
Yes.
It's all about the journey. And I love how he explained that, like social entrepreneurship, like even my project that I'm telling you
Yes,
about,
it is.
like the online school, this is the goal, like to impact our society. You see, and even through that, like for example, I had so many speeches, Yasin. When I give speeches, like I am good with public speaking due to my experiences. Like I had some previous experiences that made me good to approach people, to do speeches and stuff, like public speaking in general. So even when I teach, Yasin, I'm teaching people English, but it's connected to soft skills. You see,
Yeah.
I try to make them more self-confident, more self-aware, to make them critical thinkers. You see, like these soft skills, when you connect them to someone, he becomes undefeatable.
Critical and autocritical.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, like I always tell them this when I try to boost their confidence, like what I was explaining previously, when I tell them that you are allowed to make mistakes. It's just you. Don't think about what others might think about your accent. You see, like all of those skills. If I am their teacher, if I don't teach them that, who's going to do that for them? You see, like it's all connected to that. Like soft skills, they are so important in our lives. Believe me, all of them. As he said, like time management, public speaking, effective communication, like even confidence. You see, like these are all soft skills that we need in our lives, and we acquire them by experience.
Yes, and most importantly, like to sum up all of these is the leadership spirit and the executive of going to the act
Yes.
and be able to make proper decisions in the right time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, and it's very important, especially critical thinking and brainstorming. Like you will need them because most of
Yes.
the time, even though if you have good planning skills and time management skills and organization spirit, you will need to improvise most of the time.
Exactly.
All
yeah.
right.
Just like Anu is doing now.
And as we say, like two brains are better than one. You see, like when you brainstorm, you're talking to people, and you have good team spirit and teamwork.
Yeah.
It will make it 10 times better. Because even if we see like the big startups or something, like we see the CEO, he's the head, but he
Yes.
was never the first person or the only person to make the decisions.
Yes.
Of course.
Teamwork
yes.
is very
Yes,
important
participative decision making.
Exactly.
So, guys, thank you for being with us.
It
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure, Yasin. Thank you so much for having
You're
us.
welcome, Yasin.
Thank you. So, dear viewers, thank you for watching us. Next time we will discover other beautiful talents, other beautiful minds. Stay tuned.